Oh man. Excuse me. Try it. Yeah, oh man. Oh man. Where do I begin? Where do I end? What does it come to a point of making the world a better place day by day? Now, I got to thinking about it. I said, man, between catastrophicness, being trapped inside, and you want to open up. But the thing is, there isn't enough to open up. Completely. Everywhere. Not just rural areas and, people who can't afford it. Things of that nature. Based upon a systematical approach that left others disenfranchised. Now, I understand you giving out the free mortgages and things of that, but it's just not enough. Considering as though the pandemic is hit everywhere. Now, what I propose, if I was the president, would be to pretty much not escalate this get back to work thing as fast as possible, and more of a implementation, which is seeing as though I can't get you all back to work at one time, I have to adjust to that. And what I would promote is subsidize welfare and unemployment until you can manage to get the government up and running. But if you can't do that, and you can't do the stimuluses, then what does that leave you? And like I said, you have to give these things out all at once in order to get your ball back up and running. But, like I said, I'm looking at cash versus uncashed. Now you got a lot of people uncashed, and you have minimum people with lots of cash. Now the people with lots of cash don't want to spend it on the people with less of cash. So I say that's where the subsidies for rents and mortgages come in play for all. The food stamps to help you with your groceries and everything else for your families. That's what it's for. And the unemployment is for the little minimum cash that you're going to be able to spend throughout the time. But see, this is the objective to you prolonging this so-called stimulus. Like I said, you want to franchise a few and not all within this pandemic. But it's just ain't going to work that way. You have to hit all. So, what I propose is if you don't cut this $2,000 stimulus check a month, individuals will lose in the long run. Whether it be homeowners, business owners, the people at the top, or whatever you want to put it at, a society. That's why hence you can't open anything up like, things that's supposed to be for public use. Now you gotta start with the public first. You can't just go into the private sectors and start opening things up, because you're gonna just screw up the economy even more. Then you gotta pay that, and then you gotta pay the tax on that. Then you gotta do all of that normal stuff that you would normally do. But this isn't a normal situation. You're losing people by the hundreds of thousands. And for you to think that you going business mogul your way in that way is just destructive to the point where a year from now, you wish you listened to me. I understand you desperate. That's why I'm here. The dodgy doggers. I don't know what's going on in the news out here today, but you go in the loop, you're lying, you got the freedom of speech. You telling them COVID is sustainable. You telling them you got a vaccine. And you in a rush. And you speculating on top of speculation. And then not only that, you want to come up with something and try to say that the Constitution isn't justifiable. But if the Constitution isn't justifiable, then none of the things that you have put in place since the Constitution would ever be justifiable. Oh man, I'm not angry. I'm just trying to figure out, if you studied all of this stuff way before I have, then why am I so great at it? Hey Tony the Ticket, you're great. And like I said, since you didn't want to give me the Nobel Peace Prize and the Man of the Year award, like you probably asked for, some of these things possibly could have been less strenuous. But that said, my offering, since you don't want to offer the $2,000 immediately to every civilian in the United States by a monthly basis, regardless of their income, and regardless whether they're working or not, to sustain them people from running off the chain like you've been doing at these meetings and parties and spreading this COVID everywhere over the weekend. All because you want to inflict the wound even more. Because you're saying that if you got it, you got it. You're going to have to, no, man. Just because you got it don't mean you want to spread it to innocent people that don't have it at your so-called pool parties and get-togethers. Because you think you're doing something. Oh man, and then you go to the beach and you can't get in the water. You can get your feet wet, but you can't get in the water. But you get in the pool and you get in the water all you want. You see the backwardness that you throwing out there to society, America. You need to realize it. You're going to have to go out rough, tough, and built to last. And the only way you're going to be built to last is if you subsidize these rents. Because some people, the majority of people ain't paying rent anything. Then you want to open up the schools, so then you trying to send them back to school to get sick. And you know you can't afford to open them schools. You know you can't. But you want to satisfy these American families who want to break the rules and get in the pools and spread the COVIDs. You ever learned the lesson from force feeding anything? I'm just asking the questions. They saying live coronavirus updates. Well, we didn't have a name for this until somebody came up with it. We didn't have a so-called vaccine until... But even that's not yet proven. Michigan Governor Whitmer holds coronavirus news briefing. Listen, we need to hold down what I just said before. subsidies, food stamps, and unemployment. And like I said, you can give out the work as long as you want to give it out. You can open up as much as you want to open up. But what I'm trying to say is you need to sustain something in order to save enough bread so you can open up everything at once. And you can have enough bread just in case. Like I said, you have paid sick leave. You got unemployment at a rate that's over the rate that you thought it would be. Plus you give them an extra $600. You don't want to throw out that second stimulus because you haven't even got through with the first one. That's why I'm trying to tell you, you're going to have to subsidize your money in the other ways because you don't have enough money. Because if you did, you would have hit everybody at once like I told you to. But you didn't. Because you can't. Now, 5 ways Europeans is easing lockdown by having drinks. Well, don't look like they going back to work. You know you don't want to show up at the work intoxicated. Oh man, you headed down a slippery slope, man. And like I said, the Freedom of Speech Act has a lot to do with this. I thought about it and I said, well, in the history of a president getting impeached and re-running again, can you re-elect a past president? That's a question I have for the American people because I asked this question earlier. Still haven't gotten an answer to it, but in a way I think it's systematically, is it wrong or right? I just want to know because if you could do this, then the next up should be able to too. You headed down a slippery slope again, America. Because you want to chastise everything I say and twist it and bend it and like I said before, I never said I was completely right. Why? Because my stuff is in a clinical trial right now. If people want to steal it and ravish it for their own well-being, because they've been hit by the pandemic. Governor Sisolak expect to announce phase 2 of reopening. Listen, man, go ahead, reopen all you want. Because you just adding fuel to the fact that people are dying. You ain't got no workers. You might have them working for a week, if that. You know what I mean? Something will go casual. It's just not secure or safe. As the latest news on coronavirus outbreak in New England. Outbreak, open, reopen. You don't want to subsidize. You don't want to stimulus. You don't even want to compromise. You said the bill was going to be dead on arrival. So that's when I said to myself, well, this is the only way you can go around him trying to. It's like I said, he want to ravish all of the dollars for himself. Fine, keep the dollars. We can keep going without the dollars. Ah, man. I think that's another checkmate for me, man. Or maybe, and again, the way it's looking, yeah. So, presidential. And could you please stop sending all of these things my way, man? It's just totally disrespectful. respectful. I understand you have a shaky little hand syndrome, man. It happens. Coronavirus Daily News Update, May 25th. What to know today about COVID-19? That it is taking over lives, man. And you have to show your fellow man that fellow sympathy or suffer the consequences. And what that may be, it seems to already been taking place. Economy, yeah. You holding the stimulus checks for the millions of people and putting it into the stock. Nigga, you gonna quadruply flip that. No, man. This is not a situation of a gamble. It's a situation of you have to make things right, whether you want to or not. And as long as you speculate on excuses and excuse this and let me take some time out to think about it. It's a life we're talking about here. A human life who's capable of thinking and doing whatever possible and necessary to survive. So that's your act. I mean, not your. You see? Let me get into some more of this. Let me see this stuff here, man. Anonymous news as the economy redestructs itself by reopening. You see, you want to put all of this into the tabloids, into the people's mind to think that they reopen it and there's no disease that can attack them. We went through all of this. What corona is, where it comes from, the droplets, and all of this stuff. So to overwrite what your doctors were saying, your researchers, your scientists were saying, only lets me know that someone needs to do something about this, man. As we go back into more stock market news during coronavirus, see, you more worried about stocks and monies and bonds than you are humans that you need to survive your economy. It's like if stock was stock, right? And you only had one person running the stock and they doing all of the trading with themselves. Another one. Yeah, because Trump has properties and things and values and things of that nature inside the stocks. But he's supposed to be running the country. Civilian work. Trump, who spent Memorial Day without a face mask. I mean, Memorial Day is a day for all of the fallen workers, soldiers, anyone on the front lines of anything tragic. And that's how you show your respects. Downtown Heining's work test positive. I thought it was no more positive tests coming out of nowhere. That's why you said you wanted to reopen, but that's totally not the truth. The truth is, the matter is, there is more people getting sick by the minute. And like I said, with them sick and going through whatever they going through, you want to reopen and make things look like it's all fine and forget about them. That's what it is. They forget about them, man. But you need them. It's like I said, I want to trade stocks alone. Not going to last forever. Wind River Startup Challenge pitch day 30. I'm sorry, day May 30th. We haven't got there yet. Let's wait until we get there. Because everyone's in a rush. I'm in no rush to meet the upper room, baby. No rush just yet, baby. Oh man. Recap of I got a lot more work to do here on Earth. Recap of New Mexico COVID-19 news. Listen, you let them across the border. You wanted to blame China, you wanted to blame Mexico, you wanted to blame Canada, you wanted to blame everything except for doing what you necessarily needed to do in times of what you call it, a COVID pandemic. Better late than never though. Newspaper subscriptions, scam reports, news, sports, and jobs. Man, with the hours cut from years ago, and you doing all this part time and halfway, and I'm building a career on the side. I mean, it's looking good as a tax write-off, but that's about it. And you didn't learn your lesson there either. So, continue, baby. Continue down this slippery slope road. Because I'm just waiting for it to hit the fan hard enough so everyone can smell it. It's near. That's enough on this. And the fact of the matter is, we're all in the same boat. So whether you rock a little bit this way or rock a little bit that way. Same what happened in Titanic. Don't go out like that. Peace.